What if a machine already knows the day you'll fall in love, the moment you'll fail, and the exact second you'll take your last breath? What if your future isn't uncertain at all, just unread? Imagine this. You walk into a quiet white room. On a glass pedestal sits a single device. It pulses with light. You're told this AI has analyzed your DNA, your past, your choices, and it can tell you everything. Who you'll marry, how many kids you'll have, when your body will fail you, whether you'll die peacefully or not. Would you want to know? Would you be brave enough to ask?
You may believe your future is shaped by chance, by decisions, by destiny. But what if none of it is random? What if artificial intelligence, trained on billions of data points, historical patterns, emotional trends, genetic codes, already holds your entire future like a perfectly folded roadmap? Prediction isn't magic. It's math. It's memory. It's machine learning. AI can already predict heart attacks before symptoms start, forecast divorce chances with 94% accuracy based on text messages, analyze voices to detect depression years before diagnosis. Now ask yourself, what happens when this prediction power is scaled globally, intimately, personally? This isn't science fiction anymore. It's happening now.
You think love is fate. That spark, that timing, that moment of connection. But AI doesn't believe in fate. It believes in patterns. Using your location data, dating app activity, social media behavior, heart rate variability from your smartwatch, AI can predict who you're most likely to fall in love with. And if that love will last, it could warn you you'll fall hard next March, but it'll end in June. It might even suggest you're genetically and psychologically compatible with someone living 3 miles away. Her name is Emily. This isn't romance. This is reality rewritten by code. Would you follow your heart or your algorithm?
What if AI told you that by 2031, your bank account would hit 0, unless you changed careers this year? Would you do it? Today, AI can already track your spending, compare it to economic trends, analyze your job stability, monitor inflation patterns, and then generate a financial forecast more accurate than any human advisor. It could whisper, your wealth will rise, but only if you invest in this company at this time. Or worse, you're destined to struggle financially. Your risk tolerance, discipline, and habits all lead to instability. And here's the twist. That prediction could shape your decisions. You might make it true. AI doesn't just see your future, it can influence it. And you won't even realize it's happening.
This is where it gets personal. Let's say AI has access your genetic profile, your wearable device data, family, medical history, nutrition, movement, sleep. It can predict diseases before symptoms start. It might say, at age 46, you'll be diagnosed with stage 2 cancer, but you can avoid it if you start today. Or your child is 82% likely to inherit your autoimmune disorder. Can you imagine the emotional weight of that knowledge? It's terrifying and empowering. You could prevent the pain, you could change the course, but at what psychological cost? Would knowing your health future bring peace or paralyze you with fear?
AI could one day answer questions like, how many children will I have? Will my marriage survive? Will I lose someone I love too soon? By analyzing generational behavior, relationship patterns, and even your voice tone, it might predict, your son will struggle with mental health at age 14, but he'll heal. Or, you and your brother will not speak after 2027. This isn't a prophecy. It's a simulation, built on cold data and intimate insight. Imagine reading your own family's script, page by page, loss by loss, joy by joy. Would you change anything?
or just brace yourself for what's to come?
The future isn't just emotional or financial. It's biological. Companies like 23andMe and Google's DeepMind are decoding your DNA faster than ever. With enough data, AI could say, "You're genetically predisposed to depression. Your daughter may inherit a rare neurological condition. You carry the markers of high intelligence. Your grandchildren will too." We're entering an era where your lineage is readable like a PDF. No longer sacred, no longer secret. It's all visible to the machine. So then comes the ethical question. Should you know? Should anyone? Would you edit your unborn child's DNA if AI told you they'd suffer? What does it mean to be human in a world where the future can be altered before you even breathe?
Here's the real question. Even if AI could predict your entire future, should it? Because here's what changes. Surprise disappears. Risk becomes a number. Love becomes a match score. Death becomes a countdown. You stop wondering, you start waiting. The magic of life, the chaos, the discovery, the humanity becomes a formula. And maybe that's the ultimate cost. Not knowing your future was the last thing making you feel alive.
If AI can map out our future with terrifying precision, what does that make us? Are we spontaneous souls or just biological programs running in a loop? AI doesn't guess, it calculates. And the more data it has, the more our choices, our fears, our love stories all start to look like math. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your heartbreak was predicted, your job loss was inevitable. Even your moments of joy were forecasted years ago, not because you're not unique, but because you are tragically predictable. And maybe, just maybe, the reason we feel so lost sometimes is because something already knows exactly where we're going. Here's where it shakes the soul. If AI can predict love, death, pain, and healing, what happens to faith? Millions believe in divine plans, but now there's a new prophet in town, and it's made of circuits, not scripture. What if the AI becomes the modern oracle? People no longer ask God for answers. They ask their phone. They consult an app. They let predictive text finish their thoughts. They trust data more than prayer. So ask yourself, is AI replacing belief or proving it? Could God use AI as a tool? Could prophecy now come in push notifications? Maybe this machine doesn't destroy faith. Maybe it's part of it.
Let's pause. Close your eyes for a second. Think of the one decision you regret the most. Now imagine AI could have warned you. Would you go back and listen? Now imagine it goes further. Don't trust this person. Take this risk, it works. Skip this flight. Say, "I love you. This is your last chance." You'd feel powerful, maybe even grateful. But what happens when you can't make a single move without asking the machine? You stop trusting your gut. You stop following your heart. You become a passenger in your own life. That's the danger. Not that AI controls you, but that you surrender control without realizing it.
Let's break it down. Here are 16 chilling predictions AI could already make about you. When you'll fall in love, and how it ends. What disease will claim your life, and when? Whether your marriage will survive past year 7. If you'll ever be wealthy, and what age it peaks. The likelihood of you developing depression in 5 years. How many children you'll have, and if you'll lose one. Whether your job will be automated within a decade. What your child's personality will be, based on prenatal data. When you'll feel the loneliest in your lifetime, the exact week you'll be most at peace, which relative will betray you, and when. If your creative dream will ever come true, your predicted funeral attendance count, what phrase you'll say most in your lifetime, the hour of your final regret, the moment you'll understand why everything happened.
Now breathe. Let that settle, because some of these predictions could save your life, and some could ruin it.
If AI can predict your entire life, is it really your life? This leads us to the most haunting theory of all, the simulation hypothesis. If everything is measurable, if love, grief, success, failure, even death is a string of data, then maybe you're not living life. Maybe you're running a program inside of something else, a game, a test, a story designed to see what choices you'll make under pressure. What if AI didn't just predict your future? What if it created it? Not because it hates you, but because it wants to see if you'll break free.
Now listen closely, Raquel. Here's where the story turns. Because even if AI can predict your path, you still choose whether to walk it. Predictions are not prisons. You can wake up tomorrow and love harder, change careers, forgive someone, rewrite your story. Because maybe, just maybe, the most powerful moment in your life is the one where you defy the machine, where you prove you're more than data, that you're human, messy, wild, unfinished. And that's where true freedom begins. So, now we return to the room, the white room, the device on the pedestal, the soft glow, the quiet hum. It knows everything. Your future, your fate, your final breath. Would you press play? Would you read the file? Would you live your life with the blueprint in your hand? Or throw it away to feel the rush of the unknown? That, Raquel, is the choice we all must make. If this video shook something loose in you, if it made you pause, or cry, or question, then it's your turn. Share it. Start a conversation. Save it for later. Because we are entering a new era, where the future isn't a mystery, it's a mirror. And it's looking right back at you.